Hey everybody, Yankee here. I want to warn everyone out there that I'm going to be kind of playing the part of a grumpy old man in this video. I'm going to be grouching a lot, complaining a lot. It's going to seem like I am a boomer before this video is over, but I am not. I actually missed it by a year or two. I'm Gen X, which means don't tick me off or I'll cut you. So be careful. But like I said, going to be doing some complaining and some griping here because someone asked me a question in my chat the other night that I want to answer. People were asking me, what are some good gun channels to watch? And I really didn't know because I don't watch a lot of gun channels anymore. Because let's face it, a lot of them have gone downhill. A lot of them become nothing but sales channels, political channels where they're just intent on keeping you divided, keeping you angry. So I just prefer to watch my wrestling videos, my podcasts on wrestling. I prefer to watch, car videos. I've been watching these videos by this guy, I think his name's Brandon Tinold. He's Canadian, he's from Canada. He does reviews of old cult horror movies, stuff like that. So I don't really watch a lot of gun channels anymore. And the person who was asking me that also said, well then, okay, if you can't name which ones are good, what are the worst gun channels? What are the ones no one should watch? And why are they so bad? Why has this happened? Why have so many gun channels gone down the path of being divisive and hateful and, red is right and blue is wrong and Democrats are crazy and Republicans are the saviors of all of us and all this stuff? Why has it gotten to like that in the gun community? We were so together and all focused on gun rights, 2012. Why is it now that it's all just fear and hatred and division and all that stuff? Why are these channels so bad? And you know what? I have to answer that now after thinking about it for a while. I'm like, are the channels actually that bad or is it the audience? Because let's face it, most of these guys don't give two shits about the Second Amendment. They care about saying something that makes them popular, gets them views and makes them money, gets them sponsorship, all that stuff. That's all they're doing. They're running a business. A lot of them weren't even gun people before they started gun channels. A lot of them were in advertising and other stuff. They might have liked guns, but they saw that market open up and they jumped in because they saw money and they smelled money. And those are the channels that have gotten to be the worst, I think, nowadays. And it's not because they're actually the worst people or that's just who they are. It's because that's what sells. People these days don't want to think. They want to be justified in their anger. And they want to be assured of their opinion, whether they've done anything to gather any information to form an opinion or not. And a perfect example of that yesterday is I posted a video where the title was, surely even I can admit that, veterans who are suffering from depression or PTSD should have their guns taken from them. Because that was a quote someone said to me. Surely you can admit as a mental health professional that this is the case. And that's what I titled the video because it was an outrageous statement. And in the video I go, absolutely not. As a professional, I can tell you that that is one of the worst things to do. And I went on to back that up, and I gave multiple reasons why that's one of the worst things you should do if someone's suffering from depression or PTSD, especially if they're a veteran. But still, the people in my comment section, so many people came in and was like, you're not a Second Amendment supporter, you're a gun control advocate, you're a Bloomberg plant. Someone even said, oh, I knew this is what you'd say. I saw you wearing an Antifa shirt the other day in a chat. I was like, well, I don't own an Antifa shirt. Period. So it's not only these people are, having opinions on information they don't have, but they're also making up stuff to support their own opinions, their own uneducated opinions. And that's America now. That's the gun community especially. It's like, don't bother me with the facts. Just tell me that what I already think is right. And that's why a lot of people who already don't like me, believe it or not, because I won't tell them what they want to hear, came on my channel yesterday and just left comment after comment about how, oh, you're supporting gun control. This is why veterans kill themselves. Oh, this is, the horrible thing. How can you support this kind of thing? And if they'd watched the video for even 2 minutes, they'd known I didn't. They'd known it was the exact opposite. But they're so self-assured in their opinion. I even had to say to some people, hey, did you watch the video? Because if you did, this comment you're making is kind of stupid. And if you didn't watch the video, but you still made a comment, well, that's even more stupid. So this is what we're dealing with in the gun community. And that's why these channels do this, because it's what sells. It's what you want. One of the reasons people don't like me is because I tell them things they don't want to hear. I don't jump to the, it's black and white conclusion on everything. I like, well, let's look at the gray in the middle. Let's look at the circumstances. Let's pay attention to what's really happening behind all the sound bites and executive orders and all that stuff. What's really happening? What are they really doing? And people get mad. If you question their orange savior, they really get mad. If you say, well, he said this, what do you think of that? Oh, you're an anti-Trumper. No, I just said, here's what he said. What do you think of that? How do you reconcile that with your beliefs? That's who we're dealing with in the gun community now online. And that's why these channels suck so bad, because they're catering to you. Don't be like that. I've told everyone throughout the history of my channel, if you don't like something I say, or you think something I say is wrong, come at me. Educate yourself. Do your research. Prove I'm wrong, and then come talk to me and educate me. I welcome it. And I also tell people who don't disagree with me, if you agree with me, then try twice as hard to prove I'm wrong. Educate yourself. And then if you can't prove I'm wrong, well, then we were both right. And you can feel comfortable in your opinion. You've done the homework. Most channels don't want you to do that. Most channels just tell you what you want to hear. They'll even lie to you. Oh, don't even get me started on the stuff, the lies they told about the P320 and the stuff that's coming out now that's actual truth. If channels lie to you, if they try to make you angry just to make you angry, those are channels you shouldn't watch, period. If you find out they lied, or to me, I wouldn't watch a single channel that jumped on the P320 bandwagon, because that was sensationalism. They were doing the work of Bloomberg. It was all garbage, and it's becoming more evident it was garbage. But that's just me. I don't like channels that lie to me. I don't like channels that are divisive. Those are the channels I would think are bad. But like I said, are they really being bad, or are they just doing what it takes to be popular? And whose fault is that? Is that their fault? It's 1 in a million people making content. It's the other 999,999 people consuming it that determine what is profitable and what isn't. So you kind of have to say the problem is not the channels, it's the community. And that video I put up yesterday where people react to a title with no information, don't know anything about me, even make up stuff to say. That's a perfect example of why it's really probably not the channel's fault. It's probably the audience's fault. And yes, I know this is not a way to be popular, sit here and chastise the audience, but here's the thing. If you're someone that actually does your homework, actually forms opinions, even if they're different than mine, well, then I'm not talking to you, am I? I always love it when I say something on my channel, like I'll say, some people are so blinded by politics that they can't even recognize when this person or that person does something wrong because they're in the right political party. And then there will always be 5 or 10 people that are like, I'm leaving, you can't say that about me. I'm like, I didn't say it was you, but the very fact you're offended means it is. That's like saying, you got offended because someone made a pedophile joke. Well, you're probably a pedophile. You probably wouldn't be offended if you weren't. So that just never ceases to amaze me. Don't be one of those people. If you're not one of these people, if you're not one of the lowest common denominator in the gun community, just be glad you're not like that and start trying to do something for the people that are. Try to educate them. Try to encourage them to seek reality, seek truth. Because unfortunately, so many in the gun community right now are being poisoned because they believe this side of the aisle is on my side and whatever they do must be good for me in the long run, when really it isn't. And they're taking away your rights and they're slowly eroding your freedoms. But you don't recognize it because they have the right letter after their name. Be someone who pays attention. Be someone who forms educated opinions. Be someone, if you disagree with someone, do the research. If you agree with them, Do even more research. Make sure you're both right. Maybe you're both wrong. That's the problem these days, like I said. So when someone asks me, what's the worst gun channel? I don't know if I can narrow it down because so many of them are so bad, because that's what sells. Like I said, I don't think the problem is the channels themselves. I think it's the market that demands they have to do that to be popular. You know, you're going to think I'm a millennial. No, not a millennial. Well, you know, I don't really watch a lot of gun channels. Today I'm going to make a video that's going to seem whiny, moany, because in tonight's video I'm going to be quite like I said, not a boomer. Yankee here. My video, they're telling you what you want to hear. It's not. Like I said, I want to address something that's going to be kind of companies. I'm going to have to say probably all the popular ones. That's how I should have started it right there. God damn it.